Welcome, lore nerds. I am the Biomancer, and here I am again. I'm not gonna let this channel die, it's just that there was a lot of college and work, and then the holidays, but now I'm back, and we have a lot of lore to talk about. And we're starting big, because I think 2020 has brought us some amazing lore that has some crazy implications that not everyone is talking about. So I wanna bring some important points here, before we actually start getting lore in 2021. For example, did you know that we already have a name for Dota 2's world? I mean, it's technically not 100% official, but I'm so sure we have the name that I'm counting that as a win. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's because of this voice line from Wind Ranger's Arcane.
Did you know the lunar cycle of Ultoria's moons lasts a full year?
Now, I know most people just heard that and thought, oh well, they are just adding yet another new location that we will never talk about again. But take another look at the whole voice pack. They actually don't add any new lore. It's just an expansion of what already exists. Dragon Knights, Razor Worms, the Uzimar, the Ultimir Academy. Why would they just name drop a completely new planet for no reason in the middle of all this? It makes no sense. What does make sense is that this is the name of the main Dota 2 planet. Oh, but it says moons in plural, what's up with that? Well, this planet has two moons. The regular moon, of which Selemene is the goddess of, and then the Mad Moon. Because it just makes no sense for Selemene to be the goddess of the Mad Moon. It would contradict a lot of the canon. That's why there has to be two moons. As for what the lunar cycle means, well, when what remains of the Mad Moon hangs at its nethermost point, he ought rise as he has in the past. The Dire Tide specifically happens every year because of the lunar cycle of the Mad Moon. And there's also the Ear Beast thing, that's kinda annual I guess, but I'm not sure how that's connected to the lunar cycle. So yeah, this right here, my fellow lore nerds, is Ultoria. And of course, there was tons of other great lore that came with the Battle Pass. Like, I have an entire video on Slark planned out. And there's so much more, but that's not what I wanna focus on right now. Battle Pass lore is kinda old news at this point, so I'm gonna leave it for later videos and focus on Dire Tide and Mistwoods first. And believe me, there's so much cool stuff here. And I think what I like the most is that this year seems to have a theme of exploring what we already have instead of adding new stuff. Just like with the Wind Ranger canon. So, last year they added these two gigantic locations to the lore, the Outlands and the Void. And now we actually have stopped to give some love to these places, which I'm really happy about. With the Outlands, we just had some name drops about Praxasia and Crimwall. And now Praxasia has this nice story told by the lore of the Mage Slayer, while Crimwall is where Hoodwink's entire story happens at. And I guess the Pudge Persona story, but we don't talk about the Pudge Persona. Anyway, something interesting about those parts are the wizard trials that happen on the Tomokan.
Some big old wizard schools set them up. Big tests to show off and challenge their rising stars.
And I don't think this is the Ultimir Academy, because they aren't just a wizard school, they teach much more than that. They are also not located in the Outlands, and the fact that there's no more wizards there seems to imply that this wizard school is out of commission, so maybe it's the same place from where the Timeless Relic came from. But in general there's not much hidden or surprising stuff that we can get from the Outlands. Maybe when Fenrir comes out he'll bring some more Outlands lore with him because of his connection with Hoodwink, but who knows. Now the Void though is a whole other story. Previously we thought the Void was just a dark desertic plain full of dangerous creatures and then the hidden temple hidden somewhere inside it. But this little item here changes everything. The Ninja Gear lore talks about a young explorer scavenging through some sort of shipwreck in the Void. Now immediately this gives off a big treasure planet or spelljammer vibe, fantasy ships sailing through space and goofy spacesuits. And you might know where this is going now, because we already had something similar come into Dota lore a few months ago, the Ardalon Interdictor. Everyone thought this was just a joke set that had not much to do with lore, but nope, this is actually a super important set to the lore. And I actually had to search what an interdictor really means, and apparently it's an aircraft designed to interrupt enemy supply operations by aerial bombing. Oddly specific, but it does tell us that there's not only entire civilizations living and drifting in the void, but there's also flat-out wars between them that require specialized troops and leave behind wreckages of ships to be scavenged after. Now, does that mean that we may have a space team here in the future? Probably not, but it does open a door for some interesting cosmetics. I mean, who wouldn't want to see a Kunka persona as a cool alien space captain? Oh, and about that, you may have noticed that I'm using space and void interchangeably. That's because I think they are the same. That is the big secret about the true location of the hidden temple, of why Mireska's father can't seem to find the entrance to the temple. What if what Lanaya found searching through the remains of the Violet Archives was not research about open and interplanar portals? After all, that's what wizards would do, not the king. And she found that the Violet Plateau was actually an observatory, and that they were trying to open a portal for space travel. That would make so much sense with how the Hidden Temple works, because if we go all the way back to the Contract comic, we learn that the stars are not actually other planets. They are other realities, different timelines at different points in time. That's how the Oracle can see the future, all the possible features. And that's why if the Hidden Temple is in space, it is in a prime position to see all the expanse of time. And it even brings more sense to other places that are located quote-unquote outside of time, like Lazarim. That would mean that time still passes there, for example, like Void Spirit suggests when talking to Dark Terror about watching the evolution of his kind. But they are still outside of the river of time, being able to physically travel to any point in time just by choosing which star they go to. Anyway, there's a lot of cool new stuff in the lore, and considering we just got this amazing new set of artwork for artifact heroes, including Imperia, the queen of the Ghastly era, well, I think 2021 is probably gonna be even bigger for DOTA Lore, and I love it. And if you're interested in lore discussion and theories, I have quite a lot planned for the future in case you wanna subscribe. Anyway, thanks for watching, and bye!